I'm Vlad Excel, and for the last 9 years I've ran over 150 running races. From short road races to long ultra marathons on the trails, and I even tried a couple of triathlons over the years. For years I was a professional trail runner, and I was lucky enough to travel and race all over the world. But as I got older and I started my own little family, traveling on a regular basis just got a little bit harder. So my wife and I decided to settle down in Perth, Australia, and we started our own little hydration company. Running has always been a little bit of a lonely sport for me. And even though I enjoy this self-time, I decided to go on a journey. A journey to find out how other runners are juggling the commitments of life and this complex yet simple sport of running. So I've decided to spend that racing weekend from the weekend warrior to the elite athletes and see how do they do it.
Hi, I'm Matt Smith. I'm born and bred in Perth, Western Australia, and I am a professional duathlete. I started running when I was 15, a bit by accident. I changed schools and I had to do a winter sport. I was at this school to play cricket, so I sort of went in to choose my winter sport, and I looked at like footy, rugby and hockey, and I was like, yeah, I can play them, but they're not really things I'm interested in. Cross country was one of the options, so I ticked that and turned out to be okay at it, and rest is history, I guess. I got into duathlon in 2014. I finished third in my first nationals, and that meant that in 2015 I could go to my first world champs, where I did the sprint distance and came away with my first win. And from there I went and defended my title in the standard distance in 2016 in Spain. And from there, that's where I turned pro, and the goal or the ambition ever since has been to well, be as good as I can, I guess, in the pro field and maybe get a medal one day. I guess with the whole COVID thing, the plan was actually go to Europe and do European champs and world champs. I was supposed to be leaving on the 2nd of August, which is literally in 2 days from when we're recording this. So that's not happening anymore, and the goal from there has been to just find as many races around town or in the country or even New Zealand as possible. But with all the outbreaks happening around the place, that's easier said than done right now. So in the meantime, I'm working 5 days a week at Keep On Running, and I'm just starting up my own online running coaching business too, so that's going to keep me pretty busy. And on the training side of things, I'm really lucky to have a good squad with. I run probably 14 times a week, and probably 12 of those runs I'm always running with someone. So it's a busy schedule. There's a lot of driving. I live, as Vlad's found out this morning, I live far away from the city. But like for me, it's a perfect lifestyle. I really enjoy what I'm doing. So until I can travel again, I'll just keep ticking along with this and see where I end up in 6 months' time.
Morning, how are we? Good, come in, mate.
Thank you.
Those two gold medals from duathlon world champs, age group world champs, they're the most important ones to me, and the goal's always been to have an elite one in there.
You got the Perth Marathon, which we're going to be racing tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's event. But to me, I wake up every morning and this sort of stuff, I look at the wall and I get inspired by what I've achieved. Yeah, golf still holds a place in my heart. I still play it as often as I can.
How old were you when you got the Porsche?
24. Yeah, both my world championships I won on the green bike.
So this is pretty much where the course is going to be run tomorrow. The weather is actually really good, so hopefully this stays tomorrow. We're just going to go and get our bib numbers and then do an easy 30-minute jog just to kind of get the legs going before tomorrow. That's where to do it. Go.
Did you actually go to university?
Yeah, so I did 4 years at Murdoch. Did a double major in biomechanics and health sciences. So I finished that back in 2018 is when I graduated.
And How do like obviously like friends and family? What do they think about your lifestyle? Because obviously it's not a common lifestyle.
All my friends are part of the lifestyle, like yourself, and like the rest of the guys in the squad. We live and breathe this stuff. So I have very few mates outside of the running sort of sporting community. I do have them, but they're always like golf mates or something else to do with sport. I don't think my family care. Again, almost.
You don't get any pressure from your parents. I get a real job. Or...
Nah, I think my mum and dad are pretty supportive, and my grandparents pretty understanding of like what I want to do. So I've never really had any outside pressure to quit, let's call it. So no, I feel pretty comfortable with what I'm doing, and everyone around me, I've got a pretty good crew around me supporting me. So yeah, not really.
And where do you see yourself in like 10 years time?
Yeah.
Because you're 25, you just turned 25.
Yeah.
You obviously put a lot of time into training. You train twice a day, 3 times a day. You work full time. You don't have too much time for anything outside of training and work. And
Yeah.
where do you want this to lead in 10 years time?
It's a good question, because I don't know in this current sort of layout where I'm going to be in 12 months' time. I couldn't tell, like family orientated wise, I don't know that either. I sort of wake up every day and I just tick that day off and move on to the next, and hopefully in the next couple of months I'm going to start having more structured plans of what the next 12 months will look like. Like we said earlier this morning, the plan was to go overseas this year, like leaving tomorrow, and that hasn't happened, so I'm going to work a bit harder to make that happen next year, probably make a few more sacrifices, and with how the world of duathlon is going, I might end up doing more running, more marathon sort of road running, more track work over the next 12 months. So yeah, the next 6 months are going to be interesting for me, but yeah, it's all part of the game. We'll see where it goes, and I wake up every morning excited to go to training still, so yeah, we'll see.
I reckon we should get some rest before the race tomorrow.
Yep, it's going to be windy, so
Yeah,
early
it's gonna
night,
be
lots of
wet.
faster tonight,
Yeah.
and hopefully the wind stays away.
Yeah, definitely not looking like perfect conditions, but it is what it is. It's gonna be really windy on the way out for the first 11k, because it's a turnaround course, so we'll have the wind in our face for the first 11k, turn around, and then I'll probably run my 10k PB on the way back. But yeah, not perfect conditions, but at least it's not raining. Winds are at about maybe 50-60k an hour, so yeah, not ideal, but we'll get it done. Yeah, probably not the perfect day for distance running. It was a bit windy out there, a bit rainy, but I'm happy that I got a good effort in. I kind of ran most of the race by myself, which wasn't exactly my plan. I was hoping to get behind a group for the first half when we went out, so where the first 11k was going one way and then 11k going back 10.5 and 10.5, and I was hoping to sit with a group for the first kind of 10k, but yeah, that group was just a tiny bit too quick for me, and then there was another group at the back, so I was stuck in this no man land. So I pretty much ran the whole race by myself. I felt okay towards the end. I don't feel like my legs have been like pushed to the limit. I finished with probably a 3:10k on the last k, which, you know, with the wind, I went a bit quicker, but yeah, it was a good race overall, good effort, and I think that in good conditions I should be able to go under 70 minutes, which is the goal definitely for this year. Unfortunately, there won't be too many races that I could go. We don't really have too many fast half marathons here in Perth, but yeah, we're gonna go and see Matt. Matt finished third, so he did really well. I don't know how he ran a 1:07, which is insanely quick with this weather. But yeah, we're gonna go and have a chat with him, have a coffee with him. Yeah, I've literally been living in Australia for 20 years, and this is one of the worst winters I've ever experienced myself, and this has been the wettest July in the history of Perth. So yeah, pretty crazy what's going on with this weather, and I guess we got a good bit of it today during the race.
Yeah, it was tough conditions today. I'm happy with my time and my effort was good. So yeah, it was just a tough day in the office with the conditions.
Was it like, is it tough, like building up to a race, then obviously being unlucky with the weather today?
I think for a long time we knew the weather wasn't going to be good. So the weather's not been good all week. Like we had a threshold on Thursday where the weather was like this. So I think mentally, you know what it's going to be like on the morning. So it's just I think the biggest thing is to know that everyone's running in the same conditions, and you got to put the watch away and race. So that was probably the biggest thing for me, was just not look at my watch and see how slow we're running in the first half.
Did you try and hang on with the leaders for the first half?
Yeah, that was the plan. There was a pretty strong headwind. It was like 50-60k headwind for the first half. So I held on to them for about 8k, and then yeah, the front two guys just went ape, and I got dropped and was sort of by myself the rest of the way.
And what are you thinking about when they dropped you at 8k? Do you think I'm going to try and catch up to them, or I'm just going to try not to get caught by the guy behind me?
Obviously I'd popped a little bit, and I had to think about the pace. I still had 13k to go, so at that point I tried to go with them, and my change of pace just wasn't quite good enough. So the hope sort of goes to I hope these guys just run each other into the ground, and maybe I can come over the top of them. I think the tactic worked well, and I had a really big gap to the guys behind me. I didn't see them. I couldn't see them when I had a look around. So yeah, I was hoping that the two boys were just going to sort of kill each other, and I was going to be able to catch them. But unfortunately, they were just too good today.
And when you go into a race like that where the weather is all off, do you actually go by pace? Do you go by feel? How do you kind of try and judge that?
I think today you've got to go by feel. The wind was so strong on the way out, so it felt pretty nice sitting in behind them. And then obviously with the tailwind, you could obviously feel yourself running a lot quicker on the way back. So yeah, I really didn't look at my watch until maybe the last 2Ks when I sort of thought, oh, maybe I'm on for a PB, but I was still a little bit off my PB. That's my second fastest time ever. But yeah, it was just going off field today was the important thing.
And what's the recovery plan after an effort like that?
Go play some golf this afternoon, eat some chicken wings tonight, and pretty much back into it tomorrow. I think my body's at a point now where I can do these races and just get back into training the next day. So might be a couple of slower runs tomorrow, but yeah, back to doing intervals on Tuesday for sure.
And do you have any other big races coming up? Obviously,
no.
A bit hard to say.
Yeah, COVID world again. Tomorrow, I'll say can't remember what the date was. I was supposed to be going to Europe, not happening. Then we changed plans. I was supposed to be going overseas to do some races. That's not happening. Then we changed plans again. I was supposed to go to New Zealand to do some races. Can't do that now too. So I don't know. I think it's good to have some downtime and get a good training block in and see how much more sort of speed I can get in the legs. And I'm sure something will pop up somewhere. I can travel somewhere and do a race soon.
How are you feeling after yesterday?
Yeah, not too bad to be honest. I pulled up pretty good. Played golf yesterday afternoon, which sort of loosened up the joints. So yeah, not feeling all right today.
And we got better weather as well today, and
Not hard. Anything could have been better than yesterday.
Yesterday was crazy. But obviously well done yesterday, and we wanted to reward you with a little day out here in Perth. So you're probably wondering what we're doing here next to the bridge here. But we're actually gonna go all the way up to that bridge there.
Sweet.
Have you been there before?
I have not.
No, me too. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Go.
Yeah, definitely lucky that we missed the rain. It was actually quite fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. Because if you're in Perth from overseas or interstate, I'd definitely recommend doing that. There's plenty of good views up there.
Yeah, I mean, living in Perth for 15 years, and that's like one of the nicest viewing points that I've ever seen, the city.
Yep.
But we're gonna go and get some food now, check out the city a little bit before that rain comes in. Let's do it.
Do it, Lewis.
Yeah, pretty much the CBD of Perth. 2 million people that live in Perth, capital of Western Australia. Third windiest city in the world, and Matt was telling me, the world's most isolated city in the world.
And St George's Terrace, the one we're on now, is technically the windiest street in the world, so it's pretty breezy down here.
So there's a lot of tourists that come here just to see the wind every single year. The windiest street in the world.
Sweet. All right, let's go.
It wasn't too bad, was it?
That was good.
Oh,
Something different.
After that long walk around the city. But just before we kind of say our goodbyes, I was just going to ask you, what does running mean to you?
I mean, it's a lot. It's my whole life sort of at the moment is based around running. So most of my friends are sort of runners, and we all do our training together, so we see each other a lot. To me, it's a lifestyle. Go to bed at 8:30 every night, wake up in the morning. For me, it's a great way to normally see the world pre and post COVID. I've raced in like 26 countries or something, so hopefully I keep bumping that number up once I can travel again, which is hopefully pretty soon. But yeah, it's something different to everyone else. It's a lifestyle, and I actually enjoy the running. It's nice waking up in the morning knowing that I'm one of the fittest guys in the world.
And what would you be doing if you weren't a runner?
Yeah, it's a tricky question. I was playing cricket obviously before I was a runner. Growing up, I wanted to be a pilot, so I might have been doing that. But yeah, I don't know. Chance sort of led me to running, and I can't see how else my life would have played out to this point if I wasn't running.
Would you still be running twice a day if there weren't any races?
If all races got cancelled tomorrow forever, I'd probably still run twice a day for a little bit, but I think there's probably better things to do in life as well, so I'd probably drop back to like 140 minute run a day.
So you are motivated by races?
I am absolutely motivated by races. Yeah. There's a lot of intrinsic motivation, like obviously I want to be the best I can be, but also going and winning races and obviously money's nice, but going and winning races, enjoying that whole process of going to an event, training for the event, doing the event, and then rewarding yourself afterwards. That's really what I look forward to, and it gets me out of bed in the morning.
So the main motivator is competing, winning, and trying to prove that you are, a competitor. You can be competitive against anybody out there.
Absolutely. Anyone who knows me well knows that I hate losing, whether it be a game of Monopoly or like FIFA on the PlayStation, or a running race. I hate losing. Even finishing third in a race like I did yesterday. I go to bed at night knowing there's two guys better than me, and that like pisses me off is the right word. I get annoyed, and that motivates me to get up the next morning and jump straight back into training and get the best out of myself.
well done on the race yesterday. I mean, it was an incredible time in those conditions. Thank you for having us for this weekend, and I'll see you in training.
Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, just so you're aware, there's more than 2 guys that are better than you.
Probably,
just
probably
so you know. I'm excited to see it and follow you.
Yes, follow me at Team on Instagram, and that's all I got.
Don't worry, we're gonna cut it before you said anything about Instagram.
Yeah.